Last year I did a video on how to set in a Paranda with a tikka and puff. That was the first time I put in a Paranda, and it was messy to say the least. I used a few pins, and some comments I got were quite rude. That was a real life getting ready video. I was getting ready for my brother's Mendi night. I've done it now. I've been practicing and practicing and practicing, and I've done it much neater than I did then. It's still not perfect. I'm not going to pretend that I haven't got pins in it. I've got a few less pins than I did before, but it certainly looks great. Mine is absolutely huge. Mine is a really long Paranda. It comes down to my shins, but don't forget that I'm really small. When you're adding synthetic pieces, and well, mine's an extra long synthetic piece plus an extra long Paranda, you're going to get a really stupidly long Paranda. But that's what I've got. I didn't go out to buy another shorter set just for the video. I've just used what I've got. You can get a normal long 3 ponytail as a synthetic piece if you don't have long hair, and a shorter Paranda with less tassels, less length to the tassels, and you'll find that works a lot better. I then did a little editorial at the end with this, just to get rid of some of the length, which I really liked actually, so let's see what you think of it. I'm taking my hair back loosely, parting out on the side where my fringe usually falls. I'm going to gather it, push it up very softly, and then pin it. I'm taking this off to the side slightly. I'm pretending to spray my hair. As you know, I'm allergic to hairspray. I'm just going to comb through the rest of my hair, which will make it easier to braid. It's been straightened already. I'm going to use a synthetic 3-pony. I do appreciate the colours lighter than my own hair, but then it's so funny because in the video it comes up darker, so I can't win. Just sectioning my hair into 3 pieces. You must make sure that they're equal, and then start braiding. I'm just going to do 2 loops and then add in the Paranda when I feel it's ready. I was going to add in at 2 loops, but I decided to take it down longer because my final decorative Paranda is quite long. Do you see how my own hair looks lighter now and the Paranda looks darker? So it's strange when the lighting hits it. So it's a bit tricky to add in, and what you want to do is just hold that top knot of the Paranda in that same place, and when you're braiding, try not to allow it to move, because if it does move, then the knot or the bond of it will come forward and will be visible. So I'm working my ends into it as well as the Paranda, braiding it. So each piece of the Paranda is with 1 piece of the hair that I sectioned to make the braid to begin with. And now I'm adding in the actual decorative piece. I have played with this a few times, so just making sure that the Paranda is at the right length from where I start braiding. It is tricky to do that very first loop, so take it slowly. Once you get there, it looks absolutely beautiful. So carry on braiding quite tightly till you reach the bottom. And then I'm going to use an elastic band designed for hair just at the ends. I won't lie and say I haven't put any pins in the back. I have, and I've hairsprayed it and I've wet it down. I think it's because I have quite a choppy haircut. I do have my hair cut quite regularly, and so my ends are quite blunt, quite sharp. I think if I'd had hair that had just grown over a year and I hadn't cut it and the ends were quite dry and quite thin, then they would weave in a lot better. Also, if I had wet hair when I do this, I think that will make it a lot more workable, and those ends will be hidden much better. I have woven this pretty tightly, but even then, you know, they're still poking out. To me, it's not a big deal if it does poke out, but I think for somebody who is an expert at putting in a Paranda, who wears it that often, will see the difference. But obviously, if you know, if you're not going to wear it that often, you're going to have little issues like this until you get really experienced with it. Mine is super extra long, so I've gone for a Rapunzel look. And that's because my synthetic piece is extra long. I used that one because my Paranda's quite long as well. You know, if you can use a shorter one and perhaps cut the edges or tie it up so that it's shorter. I don't mind mine long. Obviously, for somebody who's a lot taller than me, this is a stupidly long bronzer, and I'm stupidly short as well, so the two doesn't go. But I think if I was a little bit taller, it would fall down to where my knees are, which is fine. And I've also plaited the bronzer down low deliberately because I wanted these tassels to show. So hence why I started the bronzer about here. If I had just put this in with my natural hair, then my hair would fall short about here, and then the bronzer would be down here somewhere. So that doesn't look right either, because you'll have this kind of gap. And I also wouldn't have the fullness of this big plait here. I mean, skinny plaits they don't look so great. My hair's not too bad now, but it would look better with, you know, with a synthetic piece. The first video I did with the bronzer in it was with my hair puffed up and then a digger coming out the middle. I haven't done that this time around. I just gently draped my fringe to one side. I'm really liking that at the moment. If you want to see that hairstyle, that puff and that digger, do let me know, and I'll think about doing another video on bronzer setting. Hopefully I'll be a little bit better at it than with these flyaways. I'd really like to know how you guys put in your bronzer. If you could, I'd really appreciate if you did a video response showing how you do your bronzers, and hopefully I can get better. You can teach me something this time round. A lot of you are going to ask me where to get the supplies from. They're from Southall, which is our local area that sells all these cultural Indian items and jewellery, clothes, things like that. So you can get these at a jewellery stall. There's no name to the stall. I usually buy mine from the stalls that are outside of the main shops, and you see them hanging there. Bronzers you get at shops that sell bangles and necklaces and jewellery and things like that. Okay, take care and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. I've wrapped it around my head here just to give it a bit of an editorial feel.